Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 260. It's me and my son, Jack, back down in the basement to talk another week of professional wrestling. You're here? Indeed. We just recorded, yesterday, not just recorded.
Yesterday.
Absolutely. A preview for and predictions for All In and Great American Bash from NXT. If you'd like to check that out, you can if you haven't already. Although that event is happening today.
Both, I guess.
So if you want.
And main event, which we didn't do, which shows you how important that is.
Yeah, because the last one I was done with main event after that.
And Evolution we haven't predicted because it's just like.
I will watch that.
Lazy. I'll probably watch some of it.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. We're going to talk about NXT. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to do some trivia, some news. You can navigate to wherever you want using the timestamps. We usually start out talking about whatever, so I don't know what to talk about. You spent the day at the beach today because it has been hot and sunny every day.
Except for the day where I tried to go to Wonderland.
Except when you went to Canada's Wonderland and it rained. So you ended up at Vaughan Mills Mall instead?
Yep. That was great.
Did you buy anything? I don't remember. You did not. You went to a mall and didn't buy anything. That's crazy. I've been playing lots of pickleball. Played last night. Played awesome. It was in like an organized competitive thing. And I was on the main court that you're trying to get to for all matches but one. So it was very fun. And then, I don't know, I went out to a buddy's down to Mike's. Usually I say Mike's garage, but it wasn't Mike's garage because it's so nice out. It was Mike's back deck.
Back deck. Okay, so you're going to say driveway.
No, not driveway. That has happened before, but
yeah, I know, because I was there for the one time
when they did Garage Band.
Yeah,
their Garage Band, which is fun. They haven't done that in a while, so I don't know what's going on with that. But anyways, I don't know. Anything else you want to discuss? We did just behind the curtain. That's why we're in the same clothes. We just recorded the preview for those two things, so we've already been talking about wrestling for 20.
Getting it done because hopefully it's out before All In.
Yes, hopefully it's out right now.
Okay.
It was out. Sorry, it was out yesterday because right now it's Saturday the 12th. I put that out
as it's
Friday the 11th.
Yeah.
I get lost trying to do all this.
Very when like WCW, I think it was like early 90s, they're taping bulk TV.
Oh, were they?
And they're like, they're taping bulk, and so then like they can't keep track of like some people will be losing titles before they'd won them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like a mess. NWA did not like that. I
did also play a whole bunch of disc golf at the local 9-hole by myself again. I love it. Mm-hmm. Headphones in, nobody on the course. Shot under par. Sounds impressive, but it's a really easy course.
I don't think I did anything. I'm trying to think of if I'd done anything, but I haven't really.
You should come play disc golf with me.
Summer.
I'm going to make you. It's fun. It's something you can do you might enjoy, actually. Yeah. Somewhat competitive that you might enjoy. But anyways, I say we get into talking wrestling because you seem like you're not checked out, but you're not.
It's one of those days where I feel like I've expended my energy a bit.
You hate, well, you're out in the sun all day long, so you're probably depleted.
That too.
But anyways.
I hope I actually tan this time.
You should.
I forgot sunscreen, so hopefully
I'm pretty tan right now because I spend a lot of time outside.
Because last time I did sunscreen, that was when I went to the beach last time. It was one of those. It was like when we were still doing exams, and it was one of those days where it was like horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's different.
My hobbies take me outside, not something you would know about, so I get pretty tan. But anyways, let's talk about some wrestling. Our first segment, as always, is taking a look at some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. My first story is not at all surprising. It is that WWE is reportedly planning more AEW counter-programming battles. Shocking.
So sad, because then they'll dismiss AEW whenever they can, or like people are always talking down to it, but like then don't have to counter-program.
It's funny because they've gone through so many decades of like other companies don't even exist. We won't even dignify them by mentioning them to like now directly programming against them.
But it's not even like WCW where they're like winning or like. I mean, I guess they did this even when Crockett Promotions weren't winning. Did.
But like, this is just what they do. They are trying to take you out at any. And MJF, I was just reading a thing before we came down to record, actually, that he's kind of like, I get it. I would do the same thing. Like it's just kind of what you do.
I guess.
And it is.
It is, but it's especially kind of sad when they don't even like. I feel like they don't even try to counter program because like they're throwing NXT and main event at All In instead of something that might actually sway viewers, maybe.
Well, and we were talking about it. I don't know a single person. I don't know them obviously, but a better way to say it is I can't imagine there are many people who are going to pay money for All In and are like, nope, I gotta watch what ones go directly against it. Evolution.
I think Bash. No, Evolution is the next day.
So
tomorrow.
Like, I feel like anyone that maybe was gonna watch both wasn't gonna pay for All In anyways. They're WWE people. They might check it out.
Netflix or Peacock
but
or whatever.
I don't see a world where I'm gonna drop $50 for All In and then go, oh no, there's an NXT pay-per-view, so I'm out.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like no one's getting swayed either way. I feel regardless, it's like you're gonna watch what you were gonna watch anyways.
Right. So counter programming might even be too strong of it.
All it means is that like you're for sure not watching NXT live because you usually might, or you'd watch it closer to.
They're attempting to counter program. I don't know if they actually are.
I disagree
because I don't think they're taking anyone. But anyways, I only have 3 more things I think.
The thing I just found was that there's an Enzo Amore vignette on TNA.
Oh no!
I thought that's funny because he was in WWE and that didn't go well.
That's weird because I just saw a clip a couple hours ago. I don't even know how, where Miz was cutting a promo on Enzo to his face, basically being like, "You are so talented, but you're such an idiot that you've basically nobody wants to talk to you. You have to have your own. Nobody wants to be in the locker room with you. You don't have a 7-foot tall guy with you anymore. Like you're just a waste by choices you make." It was pretty funny, but I don't.
It's funny because I think it's because Slammiversary is near him.
Oh,
he's
so
New York or whatever.
Not necessarily a recurring role, hopefully. And I mean, he was really good on the mic, and
he just wasn't that interesting.
They were so over for a while, but
they should got a tag title run.
I think his ego kind of ran amok a little
and then
bit.
He got into legal troubles as well.
That too. And that was it. Well, maybe the same era, but like they will never let one person be bigger than the company. So if you think you are, they will humble you.
That's true.
Right.
I always liked Big Cass more anyways, Big Bill. I always kind of liked him and I still kind of do. Enzo, it's like he was always like, he's like Road Dogg if Road Dogg could wrestle less because they had the kind of New Age Outlaws type entrance.
Enzo's got awesome charisma and he's really good on the mic, but
that's about all he's good for.
Yeah. From the good news file, Pat McAfee is stepping away from WWE Raw due to exhaustion, apparently. So,
I think it's one of those periods, though, where it's just going to be temporary.
I do, too. He produces and hosts a 5 days a week show, manages his own company, and has a young child, a toddler at home. And I think he does stuff during college football season, too. I don't know. But anyways, hey, Pat McAfee, I know you're watching. Take all the time you need, buddy.
It does not matter.
Neither of us will miss you.
I mean, unselfishly,
give us a chance to miss you.
It's like kind of like Jericho.
Right.
That's what we say.
Just give us a chance.
That's what we say, but we won't. But unselfishly, it's also nice for Corey Graves because he's been getting a lot of praise lately.
He is much better.
That means good work for him up there.
Yes, he is much better.
Yeah. Apparently, All In plans were scrapped when Jamie Hayter got injured because I think they were going to do a program with Tekla.
Oh.
So maybe that's why Tekla's a little floundering, is because remember Tekla debuted with her and she was well enough to do that angle, but apparently Hayter's out.
What happened to Hayter? I don't even remember. What did she hurt?
I don't know. I think, but like it was after the match with Monet.
Because I usually put all the injuries in my news, but I don't
she got drilled on her head, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's it.
Too bad.
Anyways, yeah, so that could, I didn't even think about it, but that could explain why Tekla's been kind of
adrift.
Aimless.
Yeah.
Because they might not have exactly had a plan. And if this was the plan, that sucks because that would have been great for both of them, I think.
And it can be hard to like call an audible, right? When you like it's not easy.
Well, I mean, that's part of the issue with Evolution. I'm not saying like Evolution would have been flawless if Liv Morgan hadn't been injured, but like, because like you said, they're kind of putting them in a tough spot with the Beyonce concert there, the All In weekend, right?
And then big audible for Nikki Bella. We'll talk about it when we get to Raw.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So that sucks, even though we don't really want to see Nikki Bella. It still sucks.
Boy, did I turn out not want to hear her either because she had a promo on Raw, and my God.
But we'll get there. It does suck, and I think there were also big plans for Jay White. Remember, you're supposed to have a heel turn, which I'll segue because I have it. Is that his injury, like we were saying, is worse than expected.
Yeah.
He supposedly won't be back soon.
I did see that.
But he should be. The speculation is he'll be featured when he's clear. Apparently, Tony Khan's a big fan of his, which I can't blame him. I think
he's
Jay
awesome.
White's like pretty flawless.
And he's kind of different in his.
He is
in his
different.
Own way.
He's one of those guys where I think he's got his own cadence and promos. Like I really like the way he delivers promos
and his own style in ring a little bit too.
He's cerebral, but in a different way. And like he's surprisingly a versatile guy, like in terms of being a utility player. Because he's a surprisingly enjoyable babyface, even though I think he's a perfect heel.
He can do both.
I think
but we almost always prefer people as heels.
I definitely prefer him as a heel, but honestly, he's been babyface the entire year.
He's great.
And I've had zero problem with it. Like, he's been babyface since he returned and had the feud with Hangman, which was 2 of our favorite matches last year.
That's
where
right.
wrestled
they were
full
great.
gear. They had a couple really good matches with some really good finishes. Back when Hangman was heel, that was a great run. So I think Jay White's like a really good guy to have. And again, when he's healthy, that's another guy in that main event upper echelon. I would love it if he turned heel and feud with babyface Hangman. Let's reverse that.
That would be amazing.
And have those matches kind of go the other way. I think that when Jay White's back, it's tricky because you want to have him as a babyface because he has been a face and he'd be coming back from a big injury. But if you had him back as a babyface and then have him immediately turn on Hangman, that would garner sympathy for Hangman and would probably turn him heel pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like, it's Hangman. So
right. And he's beloved.
But yeah, that sucks because I really want Jay White back. I love him. I think he's
speedy recovery.
He's one
for
of my
him.
favorites.
Yeah. Another one of your favorites, Shayna Baszler, who was released from her contract a couple months ago. New reports suggesting that she's in a backstage capacity at NXT, but you were then told me that it's just until
I think it's just
contract
for 90 days,
expires.
Yeah.
So
or not even, but like her 90 days.
Her 90 days. Yeah, so working as a producer for a match.
That's kind of cool. I remember Pete Dunne was doing that in UK, we were scared he was done wrestling.
Yes, because who knows? But yeah, so we love Baszler. We would love to see her end up in even though we're always like,
getting work, I guess.
AEW doesn't need more people and blah, blah, blah. They could do some big stuff with her.
She would be something else, too.
If you had a strong babyface champion and brought her in. I wish
they could have had her sooner, because imagine her in the spot Shafir's been in, but also wrestling.
Yes.
Because Shafir doesn't wrestle much, which is fine.
But she should not.
Let's make that very clear that I'm okay with that.
Somehow Roddy Strong has not been able to impart his wrestling acumen.
I know, right?
To her.
But Baszler could have been like that exact same thing, but wrestling.
But a legit killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only have one other one.
The last one I had was a new match for Super Card of Honor. The match itself I don't really care about. It's Miyu Yamashita, Yuka Sakazaki. How'd you say it's Persephone? I don't know.
Yeah.
Persephone. I'm going to call her Persephone.
No, Persephone.
Because I think it's funny.
Almost,
and
for sure.
Mina, they're in a 4-way for the interim ROH Women's World Television Championship. It's worth noting because, as we all know, I very much like when it's a wrestler holding 2 of the same belt. I think it's funny.
Interim.
Like, remember when...
Because...
I guess Red Velvet's out because she's the one holding the belt right now.
I forgot it was her, so...
I should have made you guess.
Yeah, your monthly trivia of who the heck.
Yeah, okay, let's do it right now. Who are the tag champs? I actually don't.
Is it still Rhodes and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are the 6-man tag champs?
Oof.
That one's probably a little harder.
Lee Moriarty and someone. Who?
Rhodes and the Von Erichs.
Oh my God. Okay.
Rhodes with 2 belts.
Von Erichs, I forgot existed.
Let's see. So women's TV title we've done. Women's pure title I don't think has a champion yet. Yeah, that's a thing.
Athena's still champ.
Athena's Athena.
And Bandito.
Bandito we've seen, and then pure champion I think is the last one.
Pure champion. Huh. Who is the pure champion?
I think you usually get this one.
It's not Moriarty still. He's my guess for everything. I usually get this one?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's not Garcia anymore.
That was like a while back.
Who? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
It's Moriarty.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, so you see?
But anyways.
So why is my guess?
I like when they hold 2 identical belts. Remember when Guevara had the TNT title and it was the 2 belts?
Yes.
I thought that was hilarious.
Love a good interim.
And so that will happen because they're going to have the match for the Undisputed title down the line, of course. I also thought it was interesting because it might be a new record for the wordiest belt name because it's the interim ROH Women's World Television Championship. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 words, and they're all multiple syllables. And it reminds me when I had to type out in 2022 is that it beats out the interim AEW Women's World Championship, although this is on ROH, so I don't have to type it.
Isn't there one with a lot of words in New Japan? Oh, no, it's just the open weight.
Never open weight?
Yeah, the never open weight. Which
and
they
have the 6-man version too. They have never open weight 6-man belts.
Finally, I was telling you I saw this earlier today that WWE has closed. Someone posted like the email they got from WWE saying that for Evolution, their seats have been upgraded and WWE is closing some sections. So obviously ticket sales were not great. And then when you go and read the comments on this post, some people were speculating like, did WWE set this up to fail? And is this them going, see, it's not a draw. We don't need to run it anymore?
Sorry, which show was it for?
Evolution.
It's for Evolution. I thought it was for NXT. I mean, they are kind of saying. I feel
it's clearly an afterthought.
I don't trust that they're not doing that to set it up to fail, because I don't like.
They're telling us how important all this is, and then it's like clearly not, because you didn't start booking stuff until like 2 weeks before.
Well, and compare this to the effort they put in for the first show, which felt kind of cheap because it was like that's back when they couldn't wrestle on the Saudi show, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, you're going to Saudi, so you're going to put on the all women show, but it did feel important. It did feel like a big deal, and did feel like they were putting an effort.
This one, no.
This one, I don't think so, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't want to like. Because usually on the PLEs we have 5 matches, maybe one of which is female.
Yeah.
Maybe 2. Now they're having to craft a bunch of other storylines to fill out all those matches being women now, right? Mm-hmm. And they have to build on multiple shows. And I imagine it's just a lot more work that they don't want to do.
I think they feel like we're doing an all-women show. That checks the box right there. Regardless of how much time and effort, we're the ones offering you
we're giving you what you want. They're filling the quota, right? It definitely doesn't feel like the progressive move it was before.
No, it doesn't.
And it feels like they're just doing it for the sake of doing it.
It kind of does.
Right? And yeah.
So we'll see if it happens again.
Also, now you can't always give AEW crap for like not selling up venues in WWE. Right. Is like, I mean, it is partially their own fault, but like still.
And maybe it will hinge on how the show is. Maybe it'll be awesome top to bottom. They'll get lots of positive buzz from it.
They'll be like, see, we did good.
Right. Because that's our thing. Even some AEW pay-per-views where some of the storylines aren't great, if the matches are awesome, pay-per-views are still good, right? Like at the end of the day, when you're watching a pay-per-view, for me, I'm mostly there to watch the in-ring stuff. Like, sure, some closure or some progression of stories too.
Storylines you need to get you there, but at the end of the day, I'll take a good match.
Right. So that's possible for
Evolution.
That's
also why WWE is just not.
No, they're not doing it. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but first, we're going to talk about AEW in depth. We're going to go through this past Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite. Well, we both really enjoyed Dynamite last week, so let's talk about this week's and see if we enjoyed that as much or more. Who knows?
Yeah, I remember.
It was the go home.
Not to spoil anything. Remember you saying you did like this show?
I did like this show.
We kick things off with something I like, not that I dislike, but I don't care about. It's Monet and Storm doing another segment. There's chairs in the ring.
Their go home segment, even.
I thought that it was funny though that like Monet had all their belts on the hung on the ropes and like the hard cam.
Yeah, she does have plenty.
So I don't know. I thought that was funny. At least it was a cool visual. I thought.
Did you notice the verbal botch she made that she took a lot of heat for?
Woman's.
No, she always does that. She said Sunday instead of Saturday, which I guess she took a lot of heat for.
How could she say that?
So you know how many people are going to be tuning in on Sunday and miss it now? They're
going to tune in on Sunday and get Evolution. They're going to be like, what?
They count on Monet to let them know when stuff is. So
they're like completely in a vacuum, and they're just like, okay, Mercedes Monet, she's gonna advertise the pay-per-view. She's gonna advertise the pay-per-view. She's been like saying it's
when is it? Sunday. Got it.
It's Saturday. Wait, it's Sunday. Okay, got it. And now they're gonna be watching it Sunday, and it's gonna be like, you're gonna see spoilers. No, they won't see spoilers because, like I said, they get their information from Mercedes Monet. That's right. Nothing else. They're not seeing anything else. So they're just gonna tune in, and they're gonna try to order it, and they're gonna be like, what already happened? No.
It happened. It's over. I thought it's funny because they build this as Monet and Storm face to face, and then it's only Monet for a bit at least, and it's Storm just on the screen.
Right.
It ended up face to face.
Yeah, Storm does come on the screen. She made like a double entendre or whatever. She I don't know.
She does what she does that everybody but us absolutely fawns all over. I don't know.
just no. Okay.
It's fine.
All right. Storm tells Monet to save the performative bullshit for her entrance.
Crazy. She called Monet performative and basically inauthentic, which is pretty rich coming from.
Yeah. She said week after week, Monet has treated her like some sort of underdog. She said Monet had the authenticity of a spray tan in a rainstorm and the emotional depth of a kiddie pool. That also feels rich coming from her. She's like, I mean, she just display a lot of emotion, I guess, but like it doesn't feel authentic. So is it
right? So the whole like you're performative, like your whole thing is inauthentic and performative.
See,
it's
she's not wrong
of your gimmick right now, but it's also like that's what you do.
Yeah, no, she's not wrong because I do feel that about Monet sometimes, but not to the point where I feel it about Storm.
Projecting is what she's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Storm called Monet a fraud, which is also rich, considering not only is I think this character a fraud, but like she was pretending to be different versions of herself before she reverted back to timeless. So is that not a fraud?
We don't know.
She was playing like I don't know. Storm said those belts are something for me to hide behind. So she wondered what Monet was so afraid of. Monet said they walked somewhere past, drive up and down the road.
Traveled up and down the road.
She didn't say that, but I might as well fill it in for her. They're nothing alike. She said she'll always be better than Storm. She'll outshine Storm in success and class. She's not afraid of anyone or anything. She made the devil her bitch, which is like, did she take Dustin Rhodes' promo class or something?
Isn't that MJF's the devil?
But like, that's Dustin Rhodes.
Adam
always
Cole's
just like,
the devil.
Adam Cole is the devil.
I forgot that amazing
And Cross
story.
is the devil,
That's right.
No, but like Dustin Rhodes is always like, I went down the hell, I came back and
battled demons, blah, blah,
devil
blah.
in his face.
Yeah.
Like whatever his shtick is, I actually don't even care. But she said that, and I was just like, I can't help but think of Dustin Rhodes. Whenever anyone mentions like the devil is like my bitch or whatever, I'm like, Dustin Rhodes. And he said nobody's gonna stop the Money train. Not even Storm. She said AEW Women's Title is her destiny. She's the alpha, omega, everything between. She's not the omega, and that's not the devil. It's Adam Cole.
She's also not Monty Brown.
She's also not Monty Brown. Yeah. Or I guess alpha male was him. Alpha is Takeshita, which she is also not. So it remains true.
Yeah.
Or untrue.
Monty Brown was cool.
Untrue part.
I just watched not long ago a compilation of some of his promos. I forgot he had some really weird
the clip of him I always see is when Christian asks him what the capital of Thailand is, Bangkok, and he smacks him in the nuts.
Monty Brown said some interesting stuff. He was kind of cool.
Storm then says legacies don't exist. That's also not true. She said one day we'll all turn to dust and be forgotten.
That's deep.
That's not true because this week I watched Dark Knight. I was telling you Heath Ledger. That is something else.
Yes, that was
that Joker. His Joker is like, okay, just to briefly detour because we're always like, there's some things where it's like it's overhyped and it annoys me.
Yeah,
but like,
he's phenomenal in that.
That movie in general, I think, just lives up to the hype.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
He's unbelievable.
Dark Knight is crazy, and the whole story of Two-Face is really good too. Mm-hmm. But that's a whole nother thing. Mm-hmm. Anyways, it just made me think like that's something that's gonna always be like not just relevant but like remembered.
Maybe
I mean?
Not
like,
1,000 years probably.
I like that's an all-time villain performance.
I guess.
I think that's always gonna be.
Maybe.
Storm said all that matters is one moment, the moment where Monet looks Storm in the eye, and Monet fears an ordinary life, but she only fears an ordinary death, which is that supposed to sound cool?
Also, as I'm thinking about it, is it interesting that someone whose name is literally Timeless Tony Storm is talking about how there is no such thing as a legacy? She's sitting there going, nothing is timeless. By the way, my name is Timeless Tony Storm.
I'm timeless, except for me. That would make it a heel thing then, though.
Right.
And she was.
She was.
Like, then it was just like, I don't know. It's so popular. She said, believes Monet that Monet deserves all the titles in the world, not this one. She'll go down as the woman who just couldn't win the big one. Mm-hmm. She said she hoped this would be civil, Monet said she hoped this would be civil, but she was wrong. She said this Sunday, TJR also wrote that.
Yeah.
She said she means Saturday, may the best woman win for the woman's title.
Ugh.
The fans chanted stuff at her. They drank champagne. Storm told her to eat shit. She went for it looked like she went for Monet's own finish.
She did. She went for the Monet maker.
The thing that never hits.
Mm-hmm.
And then Monet slipped out, and that was it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I think maybe it did add a little bit to this for me, personal wise. Like it feels a little more personal, I guess. It's fairly standard, and I feel like a feud of this magnitude, like in theory at least, should excite me more than it does. But as you're pointing out a lot, like it pales in direct comparison to the work that Hangman's doing right now.
That's the thing, is having such a stark contrast very in front of us every week is really difficult.
But I thought this was pretty good. they were going for better than that, obviously. Maybe other people love this because they do seem to love Toni Storm. So I thought this was, better than fine, but it wasn't amazing. And it did help a little bit, I guess. But
I don't think it's outright bad, but I didn't like it.
yeah, it's like they've just spent so much time and energy in other stuff that this feels like it's, I don't know. But the match should be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. But the build has been kind of mediocre, I think.
I would say so. This was fine. It just doesn't feel like it adds much, even though like it's a segment that should. Like if it were Mox and Hangman doing this kind of thing, I feel like it would add a lot.
These are two huge stars right now.
They're arguably the two biggest.
And
the two champions.
It's just kind of like, okay, cool, let's get to the match. The match will be good.
It's just not real.
Again, it's really hard for us. It's hard to come across serious when you're in an angle with Toni Storm right now. We say it all the time.
And even
it's
Monet
really hard to play off
I
her.
feel like it's less bad.
And Monet's skill is not promos and is not thinking on her feet, I don't think.
I guess
it's
not.
more the in-ring and the star power is her thing.
Yeah, it's like Monet wants her 7th belt, which is great, but I feel like that kind of cheapens the main title too. So she's just winning to add to her trophy case kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be different if she even was just only holding the TBS title and wanted both AEW titles. She's like, I want to be the best in the division, so I'm going to hold both AEW belts. That's great. And I guess that's kind of the motivation here, but she's just like racking at random belts. One of her belts is, again, a tournament belt. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, I don't know, there's not a lot to sink my teeth into here. And I think this segment finally really pinpointed for me what's holding this feedback for me and probably both of us is that not only has the build been lackluster, but even when they do build it here, I don't care. Mm-hmm. And I think that's partially because too little too late, but partially because that feels mega important. More importantly, it feels real. Neither of these women feel real. Right. Storm said Monet is performative, but they're both performative to a fault. I think Storm's a walking caricature, which we've already discussed, and it never feels like a real issue with her. Like, it just feels like over the top and dramatic for drama's sake.
Yeah.
And on the other end, we have Monet, who's a walking catchphrase machine, who doesn't talk like a real person, and both of them, I think, lack motivational depth.
Yeah.
I think on the other end of the spectrum, which we'll see because we have a Mox promo right after this, is I think there is motivational depth on both ends. Like you said, Mox has really fleshed that out for us, and we know how deep it is for Hangman. Mm-hmm. So I think that's something that's really lacking here, and I can't get into it the same way as I am excited for the main event. Like, I'm, especially with the Texas Death stipulation now, but I'm really excited for the main event. I think they've done a really good job with it, and this is just lacking that realism and that depth and that grudge beyond the title. Like, it's like you're always saying they struggle to book women's feud without the title. This feels like a feud that would only happen with the title, and the men's one is also only for the title, but like, it's so much more at the same time, and it's just lacking any more grudge other than the title.
It's for us, and it's unpopular. It's hard to take angles with Toni Storm seriously. Mariah May, they kind of caught lightning in a bottle, and that was amazing. But a lot of that was the work May was doing. That
I think so.
It's crazy to say, but Monet doesn't have that ability, even though she's been wrestling forever and is maybe a bigger star.
I don't know what the difference is between Monet and Sasha Banks, but Sasha Banks did feel real enough.
Yeah.
But while being
I used to love Sasha Banks.
I still would say I love Sasha Banks. Monet, I think I like most of the time.
Yeah.
But some of the time I don't.
I don't see her at the level that they are presenting her and that she sees herself.
I don't see her at the level that I saw her before, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like you were saying with Sasha Banks, I definitely held her in a higher regard.
Me too.
Then we get a Mox promo, like I'm saying. He says he knows what Hangman's thinking because they've been here before, and so kind of acknowledging the Texas Death. It's been like,
I appreciated that. So they literally acknowledged it because he mentions it here.
Yeah, he says that was one battle and he's been beaten before, but he's never lost the war before. So yeah, I like that he's kind of.
I like he framed it that way. Like, yes, we had a match and you won, but that was a battle.
Yeah,
I'll win the war.
Even
you can
if he
have
doesn't, but you know. He asked if Hangman will hold the line under pressure of attack and expectations. And I like they said expectations because that's really like the killing part, right? And everyone counting on Hangman. He says he thinks Hangman is a victim and pathetic and he has one chance to prove him wrong. You better walk down the aisle like it's the last time he ever will because Texas Death, he is all the way in whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, I thought this was really good. Because Mox is kind of saying that Hangman being thoughtful and introspective is like a weakness. And Mox is trying to exploit that, right? And
I like that he's really trying to get in his head by like rallying his cage by talking about like holding up under pressure, like and people's expectations, and people expect you to do this, and they expect you to beat me, and that's the thing that's going to weigh on him.
And
right?
This is again one of the beautiful things about Hangman's character is it allows, because he has spent so much time cultivating this, like, I do have some self-doubt, I do have some anxiety, whatever, right? That smart heels can play off of that. And Moxley is going to do that. And I think that's
what he's doing, right?
And so the badass heels can always just imply that, hey, you're not badass enough to get this job done. And then there's Hangman, you could say almost overcompensating by doing things like buckshotting Marina Shafir to show like, no,
yeah,
I can.
I like that.
Right? So I thought Moxley's intensity was really good here. And again, when he is specific and focused, which he was here, I quite enjoy it. So I thought this was really good.
Yeah, I really like his promos when he's got a focus target. And he's always been good at like putting his opponents over within reason of kayfabe.
Yes.
So I really like what he's doing here as well.
Me too.
Then we get Brody King and Bandito against Proto Shida, which is Fletcher and Takeshita.
I think this was my match of the night.
I think so. I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
So it's a bit of a preview. It gets Fletcher on TV, which is good. It's no Adam Cole here, but it gets Fletcher on TV, and then we have Bandito and Takeshita in there,
right,
who had their match at ROH.
That's correct, because it was yesterday.
And Takeshita won.
Is that a spoiler? We don't. No.
If that is, it is true, which it is. But if I was right, wouldn't that be cool? Because I am. Because I looked at the results and Takeshita won.
People are going to be confused. But that's okay.
Takeshita and King get it back and forth to start things off. I think there was some meat chance at some point in the match.
There were. Pretty sure.
Fletcher took out King with a suicide dive, then Bandito came through the ropes. Fletcher, then Takeshita took the con heel, and then Brody King with the suicide dive. I wrote diver. That's not right.
Not at all.
Well, that's something I'm going to fix. There we go. Really insane tilt roll DDT to Fletcher from Bandito. Got like a big
crowd went bananas.
He flew up on the spin, then came down and spiked. Fletcher looked
awesome.
Dope. Then King with the hot tag flurry. Cannonball Fletcher for 2. Fletcher nails a Michinoku driver to King. I was saying he does it so good because he looks like he actually slams them down, but he also lands them on their like shoulders and maybe even neck.
And Brody King is like 300
and
pounds.
It's impressive, but like he actually lands them like a driver.
Yeah.
Sometimes Michinoku drivers land flat, and it's just a
somebody who's hitting it
slam.
lately ends up with the person's head on their leg, which I think could be dangerous. But anyways,
perhaps. But no, Fletcher does a mean one.
Yep.
Fletcher nails that running corner kick to Bandito. Sets him up for an avalanche powerbomb for Takeshita. Bandito counters into Hurricane Rana. Bandito hits Takeshita with a frog splash. Fletcher breaks the pin at 2. Beautiful moonsault to the floor onto Fletcher from Bandito. Then he goes for a tornado. Takeshita smashes him midair with the forearm. And Raging Fire for the win.
Yeah.
Which I didn't expect.
Me either. It's so clean.
Yeah.
Awesome match, I thought. Crazy to see after the fact. It was only 12 minutes, but they got a lot
done. I
done.
feel like they got a lot for what it was worth.
Really great pace. Everything's clean and crisp. I thought Bandito, he's so good, man.
Bandito's great.
And I really, if they cared about the tag division, Takeshita and Fletcher would be an amazing
I was saying
flagship
to you, like,
team.
I'm really glad we're making Fletcher a single star, and I think it's absolutely deserved. And we already pushed Takeshita a bit. I'm really happy they're both singles guys because I really love watching them. We've mentioned it, I think it was last week. Like, I've really enjoyed watching Takeshita grow, and even Fletcher. But like,
if they had a thriving tag division,
I wouldn't even if they don't, I wouldn't be mad if these guys were a team just because it's so good. They're so good together in the little bits they have here. Like this, I thought there's such a killer combination because they've both got such great movesets.
Yes, I also think King and Bandito together because it's this interesting like. The small, flippy guy is also crazy strong, and the big, strong, crazy-looking guy is also really fast and like surprisingly agile. So they're an interesting team as well.
I agree.
It's just I need some company to love tag team wrestling as much as I do, and get this going.
That was another peak of Black and Gold was they did love tag team wrestling.
That's right.
And AEW has had their ups. It's in a down period, but they've had their ups.
I thought this was an excellent match and got the crowd involved right away.
Yeah, I'm a little worried for Takeshi's chances of winning the ROH title since he pinned Bandito here.
Agree.
But one can hope.
Yes, one can.
But it's fine because he did win it.
Right, you just told us he
told us because
I'm confused, and now you're saying you hope he does. I don't get it.
Well, this is because I wrote this before Saturday, of which it is.
And you refuse to change it.
Because we're recording on Saturday.
The 12th.
We're recording before All In.
That's right.
We get an Edwards vignette. They talk about how close they were being FTR on Collision. They prove they'll never quit. It's not over yet. If you haven't seen the Outrunners, you haven't seen nothing yet. They are in a match. It's them and Jet Speed against FTR and Patriarchy, which is another thing. Jet Speed won that.
Right.
And so that was another thing I forgot to mention in our previews
yesterday.
That Patriarchy lost that match. So if anything, now it's like, you know what I'm like. If anything, the only ones with momentum are Jet Speed.
That's right. Do you remember the line that they said that was funny here?
Was it, if you're anything like me and I know I am.
If you're anything like me and I know I am. I thought that was funny. So
they always have little lines like that I think are really funny.
This was like a basic kind of retro promo that fits their gimmick. And
it is the Collision
it's a
thing.
Classic Collision setup. So,
but I like it because it's them doing like the classic 80s hype up promo for like Saturday Night's Main Event. And that's what I'm saying. Like Tony Storm is too much of that, but Outrunners is just enough.
Yeah.
Maybe not even enough sometimes because we don't see them. But
and we say it all the time. They're also not the face of the division.
I really enjoy me some Outrunners here and there.
Yep, I think they're well used.
I actually, ironically, wrote that line word for word on my notes. I didn't even realize.
And they're like feel like a tag team where I don't have to worry about them being split like FTR because there's not really a singles guy in there.
No, because they're a pack of jack, right? Then we get an FTR Patriarchy interview. Christian puts over FTR because they have so many accomplishments, and if they scratch their backs, they'll scratch theirs. That's confusing. Stokely complains about them not being the tag time match All In, but they'll see how Collision goes.
Which begs the question, why not?
Because
why is FTR left out?
They're on the pre-show.
They've been doing more stuff than
Patriarchy.
Yeah,
but on because they're on the pre-show.
I guess.
If we do eventually get the FTR versus Copeland and Christian match, it'll be interesting to justify considering how complimentary Christian was here. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not a big deal. That was my thought.
Yeah, and my question was, why does Christian look a foot taller than both FTR guys here?
Maybe he's a self-conscious father.
I think Christian's like 6'2" or something, and I don't think FTR.
He's a tall Canadian because I mean Edge and Test are both tall Canadians, right?
Yes. So, yeah, Edge is taller than Christian.
I know Edge is a pretty tall boy.
Yeah, he is.
I don't remember how tall he is, but which is weird because it's kind of like you're saying about 6'4". Billy Gunn. Edge does not feel that big, but he's been in WWE for forever, right? Where it probably wouldn't feel as big.
So Christian's my height basically, so 6'1" and a bit.
But yeah, this was fine. I didn't care.
Yeah, it's the Collision stuff, right? I can't go too deep into that.
Then we got Ricochet versus Blake Christian, which made me happy. Singles match for my boy. I'm not talking about Ricochet.
Strange though, right? Because Christian has been presented as nothing other than a heel, and all of a sudden here it was like, my partner's dead, so I'm a face now.
I didn't love that, but I also didn't care because it seemed to get him more.
I agree. I don't care much because it's not like they've really, really focused. It's just in ring, his mannerisms are heel, and here he was not.
No, it definitely is weird, and
didn't bother me.
No, I just thought it was odd, but like it could just be temporary.
Yeah,
and I mean because everyone hates Ricochet.
That's right.
Christian with a springboard dropkick to the back, and he slaps Ricochet on his bald head. Spacey and Plancha through the ropes from Christian, that typical movie does, which is crazy looking. Then he gets distracted by Gates of Agony arriving ringside, and Ricochet sends him in the steel steps. Ricochet with an elbow, and then Christian kicks back up and hits a super kick. Standing Spanish fly from Christian for 2. A cool step-up kick in the corner, springboard cutter, and a springboard 450 from Christian for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Gates of Agony gets some cheap shots behind the ref's back, then Ricochet with a suicide dive. Back in the ring, finish comes a spear gun and a vertigo. Ricochet gets the win as expected. And there's a brief beatdown after the bell, I think.
Fun while it lasted. Not super long, but Christian's impressive. Ricochet's impressive.
Super sick, yeah.
I do like Gates of Agony and Ricochet, and I think like when you kind of wonder, but everyone hates Ricochet, why would someone join him? That's why I think Gates of Agony is a good choice because...
And that's kind of why you could have made the case when Air Fox was like kind of, not unwillingly, but begrudgingly tagging with him the other week, right?
It's like so Ricochet's using them because they're fantastic muscle and protection, obviously, right? Because they're huge guys. And they can be using Ricochet because he gets them exposure. He's on Dynamite every single week, right? So if they want to sort of use Ricochet for that exposure, they can tolerate his annoying nature to further their own careers until there's a easy way to set up a split when the time comes to. Mm-hmm. So I've always liked Gates of Agony, you know me, so I'm kind of happy. Cool. I think it works in this role. Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes.
I really like this match. It says like an enhancement match for Ricochet and kind of furthering this new angle. I think Ricochet's always great, and more importantly, there's a featured spot for Blake Christian, who I've been really enjoying this year.
And sort of a little bit of he's diverse. He can be a face if you need him to.
Yeah. I think he's just really cool, and he's one of those guys where we just see him lose a lot, but he does things differently. Like, it's that trio of unique enhancement talent-ish, where it's like him,
AR
Fox, and I'd say Leo Rush.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're all really fun to watch.
They have their own style.
They never do much of note, but I'm always very happy to see them.
Same.
Even Mordos, I'd say.
Yep. I would agree.
They're just those guys who, if we needed an easy, quality, clear win for someone, I'm throwing one of those guys on, right?
Yep.
No questions asked. And even better because they didn't have to deal with Lee Johnson. Kind of weird just playing babyface, like you said, but it's fine. It's opposite Ricochet. I think it allowed him to get some more offense in here, so I'm not complaining. He does things a little differently. He had a couple of things I hadn't seen before here, and so I like to see his work, and I think it's paying off because he's caught my eye this year. Like, I never really took an interest in him for the most part, so I think him being on AEW has helped his exposure, and I would hope other people are taking notice as well, because I think he's just been churning out.
I've enjoyed him too, because I've seen a bunch of them, but rarely heel, and I think he works as a heel.
I agree.
Which is weird, because you look at his style and be like, no way.
But that's the same thing with Pac. You also said that about Pac, right?
I think that era is kind of moving past now,
well,
where
Ricochet
you can be any
well.
style and be a heel now.
I think so. It depends on how you act, and you can always kind of implement it in different ways,
especially with WWE fans, and we'll get to my complaint about them later.
That is true.
And I don't mean all fans. I mean the ones that were in attendance this week for Raw.
In most weeks, honestly.
Actually, recently it's been a thing, yeah.
I could see in the right setting Blake Christian as a useful mid-card tag guy.
For sure.
Even in AEW, but definitely ROH I think has been a good spot for him. This served a good purpose too, which was to show off Ricochet's new crew.
Which has never been formally announced or anything, but it's just like they're there with them, so
I think they showed on Collision. Like,
of course. Yeah.
This isn't their first outing with him, I believe. Obviously, if they took out Lee Johnson, which, we're all sad about.
We are.
But I think it's not a bad fit. It looks cool visually. Ricochet, like MJF, gets muscled back up his obnoxious behavior and trash talk. Mm-hmm. Like, it's kind of like MJF is using the Syndicate to his advantage. Like, when
with a tag team, I think deserves to be elevated a bit. So I'm good with it.
And it also benefits them, like you're saying. So I think it works. And crazy that someone like Ricochet is going to be like their mic guy.
I know,
but I don't think it's a bad idea.
No,
and it's a crazy time, I guess.
It is a crazy time. Mm-hmm.
Hurt Syndicate interview. MJF warns Briscoe about the Casino Gauntlet. The other guys other than MJF were gonna leave for tag title photo shoot. They go in their locker room. There's a message on the whiteboard saying Jet Speed took their tag titles, so they go to find them, I guess. And then Renee plugs MJF segment, which will be next.
Yeah, belt stealing is like the classic.
You're not winning, but
usually it's not babyface is doing it,
or usually it's to get a title shot. They already have their title shot.
And the point, I guess, is to show they're not intimidated by Hurt Syndicate, which is what they've been trying to do the past couple weeks. So I get it. And it's a simple way to do that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not the most creative thing in the world, for sure. Yeah.
It reminds me of, because someone also posted about, like, they missed Jay White. It was the one picture of him makes entrance when he stole MJF's belt, and he was running around with it.
That was one of our favorite belt steals.
That is probably my favorite belt steal, because, again, Jay White's so good, I think he made it work.
He did.
Because that's the only time where I felt like stealing the belt actually.
Yeah, I do like you with that belt, right? Like, yeah,
that's part of it.
I do like this.
That was part of it. Was like, I like seeing him with the belt, and it's like, okay, even if he's never champion, we'll always have all these pictures of him like holding the belt and wearing the belt.
Yeah,
and like, because it was back when MJF had the Burberry strap, but you can barely tell. So it's like, okay, yeah, Jay White was champion, but like, it just made sense too, because it was prime Bang Bang Gang too. Mm-hmm. They're just so cocky with it, and he's like. And MJF also cares so much about the belt, it actually made sense.
It did.
And, like, I don't know, it just worked for me. Jay White will make that work, so I love that, too. That was probably one time where I've, like, actually enjoyed a belt stealing. And it was so prolonged, too, that I thought it was interesting, too.
He had,
I want to say he was holding the belt for, like, a month, maybe.
Felt like it.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think that's...
And I remember people didn't like that match because MJF was, like... I think he was going in with kayfabe injury. Like, I think it was the one-legged thing or whatever, remember? And he came in super banged up. But Jay White still lost, and even as a Jay White fan, I'm like, no, that was a good match. So I didn't have a problem with it. But people are gonna complain. We get another Okada Omega package. Omega was talking about how it was about proving the best. He was the best when he beat Okada for the IWGP title. but they're different men now. We get highlights from the contract signing. Okada talking about how great he felt when he beat Omega down at that. Omega says Okada will get a different version of him, and Okada says he might kill Omega. It was a really slick package. Most of it wasn't new. There's a bit new, but it was a good hype builder, but like their reputations precede them. So you don't have to do much to make me interested in this.
Same. It's not for me because but again, really good package. I think it may help some people get further into it, and it doesn't need more than this, right? Well, you just need to know the lore of these two guys and then go, oh, okay, this match is important.
Yeah, I agree. Then we get the talkie talk with Briscoe and MJF. I noticed MJF has new Tron styled like the Hurt Syndicate. Like he's got his name in the similar font.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like he's coming at the lounge. He's got the Tron to go with them now.
Nice.
So that's neat. MJF starts by saying he says talkie talk is the dumbest thing he's ever heard. He trashed Mark for being a white trash chick. He said he insulted him while speaking with a southern drawl, and he was using like Texas type lingo. He said there would be no talkie talk. He's told Mark to take a walkie walk back to Delaware. He mocked him for having inbred children. And then Briscoe called him pickle. He said MJF needs a country ass whooping. Mark said that he said the Casino Gauntlet, he's the number one man, MJF's the number two man. He'll whip his ass like MJF never experienced before. He said today is Talkie Talk Day, and he's proud to be a country-born guy, like a redneck. He said he's worked hard for every dollar that he's put in his pocket. He said MJF's scarf probably cost more than his whole wardrobe, or Mark's whole wardrobe, that is. He said his riches are his family, his friends, and the Lord above us. That's busting beyond measure. He said MJ doesn't seem to understand it. He says MJ thinks he's rich, but he's bankrupt. He's morally bankrupt, and he has no soul. He said he knows he's going to talk crap about his brother, so he's been prepared for it, and he tells him to do it. MJF said he'd never say anything bad about Jay, and he said he'll go down as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time and a great human being. There's a special place in heaven for him. He said he does pay Jay, not because he passed away, because he has to see what Mark has become. He said Jay has to watch Mark go from being half of the greatest tag team of all time to nothing more than a joke. And if Jay were here, he would say, "Chicken, it should have been me in that accident. Or shouldn't have been me in that accident. It should have been you."
Damn.
And then, they start brawling after that. He goes for the Jay Driller, but the Syndicate's music hits. They get jumped by the Jet Speed Boys.
Who murder them.
Which sounds like a horrible boy band name.
It does.
Yeah, who they just beat the tar out of them. They send him in the barricade. They throw him around, whatever. MJF runs off, and Briscoe chases him. Bailey hits a dropkick against Benjamin against the steps. They hit Lashley a bunch. They kick him a bunch. They send Benjamin in the stairs. Then the Patriarchy come out, attack Lashley and MVP. They concerto.
Yeah, the leg.
Lashley's knee,
destroy it.
A crap load. And then we get a UFO splash to Benjamin in the ring, and the challengers all stand tall.
Yeah, so a lot to unpack here. I thought the exchange between Briscoe and MJF was really, really good. I was very entertained. It's perfect, right? You have Silver Spoon, rich MJF,
super hated,
and going against
heel.
Chicken Farmer, small town,
who's uber popular
redneck.
Right now.
Right, and so even the dynamic of Briscoe's ready for MJF to take shots at Jay Briscoe.
I like that because that makes Briscoe look smart, but then MJF's also
smart enough to go flip it and go like, I would never say anything about your brother. He was amazing.
He's going to use it to insult him.
Right,
Which I really like that because that was different. We were saying they're already in a match. You use that when you want to get a match with him, though.
Yes. And it also gives MJF a program to work while Hurt Syndicate are doing what they're doing. So I thought a really strong in-ring segment, actually more engaging than the Monet Storm
Easily
stuff,
more engaging,
which is too bad.
I really like the contrast of styles between them. And again, MJF's so hated and Briscoe's so popular, so it really works. And I like the differences between them. And I like what both they said, but I really like what MJF went for at the end there.
And I'm sure some people will say like the you should have died and not your brother is going too far. But I firmly believe that Jay Briscoe would be like, go for it. Use that.
I think so, but I also think it's also Mark's discretion. If he didn't want that said,
right.
I don't think
he's
it would be
in there
said.
letting that happen.
I don't think it's one of the cases where it's like, because if you want to make that argument, then it's like obviously it's not as harsh of a thing to say. But when Stratton's bringing up the divorces, clearly it didn't seem like Charlotte knew about that because she wasn't a fan of that, right? And so. Again, I'm not saying that that's a worse thing to say than, hey, you should have died instead of your brother, but like Briscoe would have signed off on that. Yeah, is my point. Like there's not heat for that. You know what I mean?
No. And then I think the aftermath allows Jet Speed to further their issues. They
And
get one up
patriarchy.
on them. Jet Speed come across as like baby faces with a bit of an edge, which is good because I think there was potential for them to come across as a bit
White
soft
meat.
right, for lack of a better term.
And I think it's a good thing to see that side of the syndicate where they are vulnerable for once, but it also took a bunch of guys ganging up on them. So I don't think necessarily makes them look weak. It just makes them seem at least like beatable, which I think is okay.
And patriarchy come across as opportunists, which
they
is
kind of
on brand for them.
They kind of did half the work, but like or not even half the work, but like they kind of did it when half the work was done.
And you have Hurt Syndicate coming into All In at less than 100%, right? You'd think that Lashley's for sure going to be selling that leg.
I think so, right? I think hopefully that's.
I thought that this was successful from basically every angle, and it was. And I'm one of the first ones to criticize things when they're really long, and this was quite long, but I thought it got a lot done.
Yeah, and it was all over the place, which is sometimes an issue too, but I thought it was still kind of focused, and it kind of had its objectives to accomplish, and I think it kind of flowed well, because it's like, of course, Syndicate's going to come to MJF state, so they're out there, and then boom, that's Jet Speed's opportunity, and Patriarchy's opportunity to do stuff, so it's kind of meshed together well. So I think there was the long angle with these guys the other week, and it was a little less. Like, I thought this was a better way of doing it.
I really like this. MJF was, this is why he's one of the best on the mic, right? And with Briscoe to play off of, it's so good.
I think they bring out better in both of them.
And we'll see Briscoe's range, because he speaks again later, and it's very different.
I agree.
Right?
Then we get Amanada, Megan Bayne, Tekla, and Ty Mello for the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet. I know, star-studded.
My first note is Tekla has cool energy, and I want to love her. Make me love you, Tekla. She did not.
It's tough, like we said, if the plans did get scrapped. So
True.
It's not.
True.
I don't know if they're really to blame yet.
I'm still holding out my final decision because her entrance is cool. Her energy's cool.
I think she's kind of cool. She has some cool moves.
She does.
I just feel like we haven't really seen.
She hasn't shown out.
I agree.
I would say. And I want her to.
We get a botched assisted cutter from Amnon and Mello. There's the wheelbarrow and just Mello botched
missed
timing.
It. Yes.
Completely whiffed.
There was a couple spots in this one.
Yeah.
It didn't go as planned.
Which was kind of the case with the last one.
It was.
A lot of corner splashes from Bane to Amnon and Mello, and shits a Michinoku driver to Amnon for 2. A botched timing on the breakup from Tekla. Bane hit Tekla with a delayed Falcon Arrow for 2. Tekla went for a diving codebreaker. Bane catches her, lifts her in a fireman's carry, and throws her onto Mello and Amanada. Tie KO to Bane, but Ford pulls Bane out of the ring to safety. Tekla spears Mello, but Amanada breaks the pin after a 1 count. Amanada hits Tekla with a running kick against the ropes. Ford tries to take her out. Anna Jay in her brawl very convincingly. Bane then gets the win on Amanada after a running Liger bomb. So it's Bane and Statlander to start things off. This was shaky at times, kind of like the last 4 we had, but I think this one was slightly better and also less high expectations because that one had Willow and Statlander and someone else who's good.
Sure.
It was Rosa, who's the one we don't like, and then there's someone else in there. Oh, Mina.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Bane's...
No, not
was
Mina.
it?
Because Mina was facing Monet. Okay.
I thought Baszler.
What?
Bane looks impressive. And
I
think that was
looks good.
I think that was the plan here, right?
I just really hate how they fed her to Storm so quick. That just
I know.
Kinda, I'm still not over that.
I thought this match bits were good, bits were not. There was also one spot. What do I have here? Tekla gets dropped on Mello by Bane, but Mello tries to pin Tekla. Remember, it looked like Mello got someone dropped on her, but then I don't know. There was a little bit of sloppiness here. I think I preferred this to last week's, although.
So I think it was 2 weeks ago because last week, remember, it was Monet and Mina, which is pretty good.
But there were some issues in both, but I don't know. Statlander was there watching at ringside, so there was an Amanada chant broke out at some point, so I think people are starting to like her, and we've always kind of liked her.
I think she's cool.
Mello looked fine. Her finisher looked pretty good, actually.
It's better than Monet's gory version thing.
But yeah, this match was not amazing.
No. And I think Bane winning was the obvious pick, and her and Statlander's kind of cool. I think both gauntlets have a good starting spot. I think MJ Briscoe's smart, and Statlander and Bane is pretty dope.
I would agree.
Then we get a Tekla interview, but Amanada interrupts, and they start brawling away. Briscoe comes in angry, says he knew MJF was going to say something stupid. He shouts a lot of angry gibberish, says he's going to kill MJF. He's a son of a bitch. Put Tekla and Amanada on Dynamite so I can see it. I would love to see that.
Me too, actually.
and half of what Briscoe said wasn't understandable, but I love the energy, I love the passion, I love fired up Briscoe.
And that
I like
shows
when he sounds like an absolute maniac.
But then he also has the ability to be like, to almost psychoanalyze MJF in ring earlier, right? And then here he's just the rambling, raging madman again, right? So we talk about how good Briscoe is all the time. He's so much better than I thought he was.
I agree.
In pretty much every area.
Yeah, I agree. He's totally impressed me ever since he came in.
And I also want to see a Tekla Amanada banger so that I already like Amanada. I want to like Tekla, so hopefully this turns into something interesting.
Yeah, we need to like someone after Mariah May left and threw herself in the gutter.
We do.
That is NXT. Then we get Samoa Joe versus Wheeler Yuta. I thought it was pretty funny. We get a haircut chance for Yuta because he's just getting out of control. Diving shotgun driver.
Can't win. Yuta. You don't have enough hair or you have too much hair. The crowd's all over you.
Exactly. I thought you meant can't win because Yuta doesn't win.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Diving shot. Well, I just spoiled Takeshita, right?
True.
He did win.
Right.
Diving shotgun dropkick from Yuta, followed by a flying elbow for a 1 count. Inverted atomic drop running boot, then a senton from Joe for 2, the typical stuff. And he does eventually get the win with the Coquina clutch, but after the match, Gabe Kidd hits him with the Trios title belt, and then Hobbs and Shibata run them off. So that does seem to be the Trios title match for All In, which it is.
Solid match, nothing special, right? Expected outcome. Crowd really respond well to Joe. I did think it was funny because you know how he does the walk away spot?
Yeah.
So he did it in the ring, but I think the one on the floor, do you remember?
But he did it accidentally.
He did it accidentally, and then when he's looking up to the sky and stuff, like where did this... I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, I liked it because it seemed like Yuta saw it coming in the ring, and he kind of played possum, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah.
And then we had the one outside the ring where then Yuta fell victim to it anyways because Joe was just like, oh, crap, I didn't even realize.
This was solid, but nothing special.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. I mean, you kind of knew how it was going to go, right?
I did.
Then we get our main event, which is the All-Star Tag. Not for any money, though, just to clarify.
Just for pride.
Just for
momentum?
Getting circles. Momentum. It's for
momentum.
It's Ospreay, Hangman, Shibata, Hobbs against Mox, Claudio, and the Bucks of Youth.
Mm-hmm.
We get early on Hobbs and Shibata double teaming Matt, then Ospreay with a standing sky twister off of Hobbs' back. We get a brief brawl breaking out. Hangman hit the Aura Hard moonsault to the outside, then he kind of stands off with Shafir, who seems a little skittish after last week.
As she should be, yeah.
I kind of like that.
A little less in a hurry to insert herself in the match.
Yeah, right. A little more reserved, a little less... like China-esque is the word, because China would always beat up the guys, but she's like a little back off-ish. Mm-hmm. Hangman goes on a tear off of a hot tag. Claudio saves Matt from a deadeye, and he takes out Hangman, who tags out to Hobbs. Hobbs and Claudio trade shots with a lot of meat chants ringing out. Shibata with relentless corner chops to Claudio. Claudio catches a PK attempt from Shibata. Matt hit with a super kick. Hangman takes his double super kick, then one for Ospreay as well. Mox and Claudio powerbomb Hobbs with the timekeeper's table to neutralize him.
Yes, it looked good.
Pun intended, because Shibata takes an EVP trigger and a neutralizer. Then Mox submits in the Bulldog choke to give the heels the momentum. I mean, the win.
Only a 12-minute main event.
And then Mox continues to hold until Hangman attacks him. Hangman gets beat down by the heels. Ospreay also gets beat down. They get held by some of the heels as the Bucks get handed plastic bags from Mox. It's back.
It's back.
That's how you know the Death Riders are good, is when they bring back the plastic bags, because that's when they were good, is when they were suffocating people with plastic bags. That can't be right. Swerve appears on the screen and says, hate and success are one and the same, which is opposite than from...
the callback to Paige setting his house on fire,
I knew
which
that
I didn't
line
know.
sounded familiar.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, and he said everything in the Bucks have been through in the last year has been about control, which is true, because he's been feuding with the Bucks for a while, because remember they were trying to recruit him when he was champion, right? So there is history with that. He uses an excavator to destroy the limo, and they're freaking about that, which I like, because I always think it's kind of a goofy trope when it's just like, oh my god, but they're so self-centered and
But my only problem is last week they talked about how they used Tony Khan's money to buy it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it is. No, they used the company card, which I guess is still kind of their money,
I guess.
But that's why I thought it was funny when Nick's like, how are we going to financially recover from this? And it's like, they didn't even use their money.
No.
So I like that they're so I mean, I could see them still being upset about that, especially because they tricked it out with logos and whatever.
Very Attitude Era visual.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way.
No, I don't mind that kind of chaos every now and then. Babyfaces turn the tide. Claudio cuts off a buckshot attempt on Mox. Hangman takes him out, stands off of Mox. Shafir drags him to safety, and then Hangman stands in the ring with Jasper Troy's chain.
That's right. That is right. So we got a really good response for Paige in this, and he certainly did not go easy considering he's the main event of the biggest show.
Giving her.
He was.
I respect it.
The crowd also was interested in Claudio and Hobbs facing off, right? They got a good reaction.
Which we'll see, I guess, a bit on All In.
A good main event, but not great. I liked the handling of Ospreay and Hobbs because they were taken out leading into the finish. Only 12 minutes. A bit frantic, but not in a bad way to me.
And I like that it was kind of pay-per-view preview, but also different because, you do have Mox and Hangman who are going to face off. I mean, Claudio and the Ops and Hobbs and Death Riders are going to... and Ospreay and Bucks, right? Yeah. You have, some people who are in the same matches on the pay-per-view, but you also have some different ones, so it's different enough where it's not giving it all away before the pay-per-view, but it is some preview-ish.
And I still think that Hobbs could be something as a single somewhere.
I think so. I don't know if he's exactly main event guy.
I don't either, but I think
he's a good mid-card guy.
I agree. He could be really good. And I like Swerve destroying the limo. I didn't know there was a callback to the Hangman promo until later, and that makes it even cooler. Again, feels very Attitude Era and not in a bad way because I'm not one of those people that thinks Attitude Era was the greatest era and everything was. There was some awful stuff in that era.
I would argue it is probably their best period, but some of the worst stuff is from the Attitude Era, 100%.
But it was almost that was part of the joy of watching it was because they were going to do some insane.
They were going to do some stupid
really
stuff.
push the envelope.
That's fair. It's just now you can look back on it sensibly.
And of course, finishing with Mox and Hangman kind of face to face was a logical way to end. So solid stuff, but not an amazing main event, I didn't think. I preferred the opening tag.
I agree. This. I'm a little concerned the babyfaces stand so clearly tall at the end, but they also lost here, so it's
right.
And I don't think anything's changing.
I don't either.
What's gonna happen? Because otherwise, I don't know what you do.
I know. I don't either.
But I thought this was a good way to end it. It gets the heels some momentum, and Shibata makes sense for a fall guy. But I liked everything. The action was good, and it gives you some sort of preview.
Mm-hmm. Overall, I'd like this episode. It felt like it flew by. We watched it in one sitting, right? And it's weird because I don't think any of the matches were outstanding, although I really did like the opening tag. But I think the MJF Briscoe segment kind of raises the average for me.
I think a lot of the go-home angles were good.
Agree. And even the Tony Storm Monet, I think it was better than some of the stuff they've done. I thought it was a better than fine. I didn't love it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm maybe going a little bit off feel on this one, but I'm going to go B+ again, same as last week. I had fun with this, and I'm looking forward to All In.
I agree. I'm a little lower than last week, but still a really strong show. And a worthy go home. I think they did what they needed to do.
I agree.
So I like that. I'm happy with it, and I will also go B+.
Awesome. All right, so we'll wrap up Dynamite there. We'll shift gears, head into a little bit of trivia in a moment here. We like to call it Off the Top of His Head. So in an attempt to be topical, as I like to do sometimes, we are going with some, I think I asked for near impossible AEW All In trivia. I forget how I framed it.
This is actually interesting. I just did an all-in quiz on Cultaholic, so we'll see.
I know one of these is wrong. Has to be, but we'll get there. So I said...
does this include all-in, the first one, or is it just the AEW all-in?
I think everything. 20 almost impossible AEW all-in trivia questions with answers multiple choice format.
I don't think they're all almost impossible.
Here you go. Number 1. Pretty hard, although this might be something you know. What theme song did Cody Rhodes use for his entrance at All In 2018? I have options.
Is it not Kingdom?
It was not.
Okay, so then I have no idea.
So it was a version. So your options are Kingdom, which I said it wasn't, Battle Cry, a custom instrumental mix, or Wrestling Has More Than One Royal Family, no lyrics.
That.
Yes, that's what they're saying, if that's right. They're saying it's basically a version of Kingdom, but no lyrics, I think. I'm not sure.
That would probably be better.
Who officiated MJF versus Adam Cole at All In 2023?
I don't think it was anyone special. Was it? No.
No, it was a normal ref. That's why it's almost impossible.
Bryce Remsburg.
Yes, correct. Nice. According to this, could be wrong.
No, I'll take it.
Which match was the first officially announced for All In 2018? First announced match. You want options?
Was it Cody and Aldis?
It was Cody and Aldis. You are a nerd. Number 4. What did MJF and Adam Cole shout at the same time post-match at All In 2023?
5 more minutes?
No, not according to this.
Double clothesline?
Do you want options?
Sure.
AEW is forever. We're still friends. I love you, man. Double clothesline.
Double clothesline?
They're saying I love you, man.
I don't know.
Maybe. It's impossible, right? Why was All In 2018 main event cut short?
Time?
Yeah, time constraints with the pay-per-view.
I don't know why else.
Well, they said weather delay, crowd interference. That would be pretty memorable. Or injury. That would be.
Crowd interference, I think we would know.
And this one's, I know you know, and I'll just get to it and then I'll explain why it's weird. Who appeared disguised as Pentagon Jr. at All In 2018?
Jericho.
So remember when you mentioned that? I had already looked this up.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I had forgotten all about this. And then I did this trivia earlier in the week. It was mentioned there. Then you mentioned it. Then another podcast I was listening to mentioned it. So it was like, what is going on?
Well, I thought it was funny too because on Cultaholic one of the options was it was Penta dressed as Penta, much like Sting when he wears a Sting mask. And I was telling you, like, that's my favorite thing every New Year's. Like, I'll see wrestling accounts post, like, when I say New Year, New Me, it's just Sting, like, taking out the Sting mask, and it's just him. And it's like, I think it's so funny.
How many matches were on All In 2023?
13.
Not including pre-show.
12.
8, 9, 10, or 11?
11.
No, 9.
No. I think that's what we have.
Which wrestling legend, I feel like I need to do this,
okay,
accompanied Saraya at All In 2023? And actually, I'm pretty sure...
Her mom.
Correct. Sweet Saraya Knight.
Legend. Yeah, okay.
What was the only match at All In 2018 to feature ladders?
Hangman Joey Janela.
Yes. Wow. You're a special boy.
Back when he was a Penelope.
Number 10. What former WWE star was shown ringside at All In 2023?
Monet.
Correct.
Yeah, she was up in the crowd. I don't think she was ringside, but she was up in the crowd.
This one I know is wrong, so good luck.
Sure.
Which 2 All In 2018 wrestlers later appeared on WWE NXT? So your options?
Okay. Yeah.
Hangman Page and Chelsea Green.
That's not.
Bandito and Chelsea Green.
That's no.
Scorpio Sky and Joey Janela.
No.
Marty Scurll and Ray Phoenix.
One of the Chelsea Green ones.
Correct. Pick one.
The Hangman.
No, Bandito. You don't know anything.
Maybe if he was on Mask, but like, there's no way to know.
True. How did Will Ospreay defeat Chris Jericho at All In 2023?
Stormbreaker.
Correct. Who wore a Bumblebee Transformer outfit at All In 2018? Think, because I might have gotten there. I would get there off of the options for
Rey
sure.
Mysterio?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
No?
I swear it was Wolverine. Because I remember it being yellow, but I swear it was Wolverine.
I don't remember this next one. What bizarre segment involved Joey Ryan?
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Look it up when you get a second. It's clearly Wolverine.
Well, you got it right anyways.
He's literally an X on the belt.
What bizarre segment involved Joey Ryan at All In 2018?
Didn't he have an entrance with all his like dicks or something?
The penis druids.
Penis druids. Yeah, that's what it was.
Right. What British tradition was parodied during Stadium Stampede at All In 2023?
Teacup party?
So...
Oh, give me options then.
High tea, soccer-style penalties,
that,
pub brawl with pints,
oh,
Queen's Guard dance.
Soccer.
This is the pub brawl, they said.
That makes more sense.
What instrument was used during the acclaimed All In 2023 entrance?
Banjo.
Electric guitar, violin, bagpipes, drumline.
Drumline.
They're saying bagpipes. Don't remember.
That's the worst one.
Which non-AEW title was defended at All In 2018?
NWA title.
Correct. Which match teased a double clothesline?
Sorry, wait. The question was non-AEW title?
Correct.
That would be all the titles. That was not the AEW one.
Didn't exist yet, right?
Yeah.
Which match teased a double clothesline knockout finish?
Cole and MJF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct. Who scored the first pinfall victory at All In 2018?
MJF.
No.
Matt Cross.
Matt Jackson, Cody, Kazarian, Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal.
No, Kazarian.
Oh, what?
How dare you? What injury, last one, did CM Punk reportedly wrestle through at All In 2023?
I don't know.
Broken foot, torn bicep, torn triceps, dislocated shoulder.
The foot.
Triceps.
Oh yeah, because tricep is sand, right?
Yeah, tricep of sand. All right, good job. Some of those they weren't impossible, obviously, but some of them were tricky. Shift gears back into talking wrestling. We'll talk about some Raw. We'll talk about some NXT. It's Highspots and Restholds. Raw is first. So we talked about it before, but it feels like part of the problem or the problem right now for me with WWE is that they have so many PLEs and so many specials that
they're just like, it's like
short-term stories to get to the next show.
The booking equivalent of living paycheck to paycheck, you know what I mean?
Yes, they're just getting matches together for whatever show is next. There's not a lot of interesting things going on Raw for me in recent weeks. The fans for this show are super energetic, but it doesn't help because they just want to cheer and participate, heel or face. They just want to be a part of the show, which is their business. I always say, like, you paid for your ticket, you do what you want, but it does not help because they just want to cheer everything sing and participate.
They cheer up Sammy getting beat up by two different people.
Right. So
two different heels.
And I just to remind people, I did not get the during the break segments this week that sometimes I do. But I did hear that Cross got one and received "We Want Cross" chant. So that's one of the things. This guy's a heel tormenting one of your key baby faces, and the crowd is chanting for the heel.
Yeah.
Right. So this is sort of how things are going in WWE. It's a kind of it's almost like we're entering an era of that where I'm not a big fan. But again, you paid the money, do what you want. Seth Riders opened the show. I really didn't like this. I almost got you to watch it just to see. So they kind of do the dark state thing where everybody gets a chance to speak. So Braun speaks first, and it's almost like
I saw it.
Heyman and Seth are surprised, but they're kind of like, go do your thing, sort of let him speak. And so he's basically like, the plan is that Rollins and Heyman are mentoring him because he'll be the face of Raw for the next 20 years. And then it's just juvenile. I hate Sammy's face. I hate his beard. I hate his music. He doesn't play sports or go to the gym. And at one point, his voice cracked really badly. So it's just kind of like, I'm glad he's speaking and stuff, but like, I don't like your stupid face and your beard and you're scrawny and don't go to the gym. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then Bronson Reed speaks next. And for some reason, he then reminds us, like, I tried to kill Seth Rollins and won his respect and got added to the group. And I just wrote, I feel like I'm back in the 80s with the shallowness of these promos. Heyman's next, and he botches. He tries to do, like, the Empire Strikes Back, and then he's like, oh, that's a mistake. You'll see that on YouTube. I mean, the Empire Strikes First this time. So anyways, he mentions Jey Uso, Roman Reigns.
I saw him cut a bunch of Spanish, like Hangman.
Then he focuses on Penta and talks about his hand signals, and you won't be doing hand signals anymore. So even for Heyman, I'm like, I don't know, man, this isn't good. And then Rollins just gives us his Monday Night Rollins catchphrase. So I don't know, man. I guess it promoted the 3 matches for these guys on the show, but it just seemed, again, like, hate to keep saying uninspired, but that's where we're at.
Seems to be their booking they're doing, though.
Yeah. And again,
they're in the rut.
Love this group when it formed. Been underwhelmed since.
What a moment.
Judgment Day, this kind of made me laugh. They've basically set up a shrine to live.
I did see that.
So Raquel's the voice of reason.
She's like, she's still alive.
She's rehabbing really hard. She's going to be back soon. And Balor's like, listen, I know.
I did like his logic.
But he's like, I know shoulder injuries and they can take a while, right? And then there's a get well cake there. And Dom's like, thanks for the get well soon cake. And they're like, we had nothing to do with that. And then AJ's just kind of in the background doing the whole, like, I'm watching you. And Dom's like, hey, I have a doctor's note. So kind of made me laugh. Although AJ is my age and kind of acting like a teenager here. But I don't know.
I mean, I guess he's stooping to Dom's level.
The shrine to live kind of made me chuckle. It literally looked like she was dead.
It's pretty funny.
Reminds me of that show I'm watching a lot right now. The People Just Do Nothing.
Yeah.
There's one episode where the one guy's daughter's getting christened, which they keep saying wrong as Christianed.
Yeah.
And they're not, the whole thing is they're not smart, right? So they made t-shirts where it looks like it's a memorial for her because it has like the girl's face and then like the years of she was born until the year she's getting christened.
Okay, so yeah, it's the same idea.
It's a similar idea. Okay, Kairi Sane defeats Roxanne in an 11-minute match. Raquel ends up taking a high cross on the floor. That allowed Roxanne to tease hitting a pop rocks, but Sane countered it into a backslide for the win. So Roxanne, I guess the point is, doesn't get revenge because Kairi Sane took out Liv. You know what I mean? She got hurt in that match. The match was okay. Sane, again, there's a couple clunky spots here, and this has been like 3 or 4 times now, and one of them commentary even had to say didn't get all of it. So I don't know, man. I'm not loving Kairi Sane lately. The heels beat down Sane after the match. Asuka comes out to make the save. Perez takes him a tag title shot. Perez takes an insane elbow reverse DDT combination from the Kabuki Warriors. And commentary even at this point are like, welcome back, Kabuki Warriors. So again, it's like, here you go, and
into the tag title match. Because you reunited.
And we need stuff for Evolution. We still got to fill this card out, less than a week away. Sami Zayn is pretty much the first thing worth watching this week, I thought. He talks about focusing on Braun Breaker and kind of puts Breaker over nicely here before taking care of Karrion Kross. He walks away. Scarlett is there, and Jackie's like, do you have anything to add or something? She's just like, nope. So I don't know what was going on there. But Sami sounds really great, especially like comparing him to the stuff that happened before this. What's written for him isn't great, but he just comes across believable, right? He does his best with it.
He's really good at acting.
Always. Gable's denial of being Americano is backfiring, and the dumb one, Brutus, is the only one to question what's going on. So it was American made in a quick segment backstage talking to Pierce. Niall is basically like, I want in the Battle Royal at Evolution, and Pierce is like, you're already in it. So it's like, there you go. Some further build for this amazing pay-per-view they worked so hard to get
so thorough and
but it's Brutus is the only one going like, but that we, and they're like, no, like they don't want to say, but I kind of like that it's like, Gable could be planning this, but also like I keep calling him Bartel. Kaiser could just be doing it because Gable can't really say anything because he's been like, I'm not Americano. So he can't be like, now someone's taken my spot, right? So
I feel like that's not it, but I do like the thought.
One of the few interesting things going on here. Nikki Bella has to pivot, so she's in the Battle Royal for Evolution as well. So it's one of those, I'm going to have one more moment, I'll do whatever it takes, etc. I get it's not a terrible audible under the circumstances, right? There's only so many things they can do with her, but she sounds terrible. And when you consider the amount of experience she has...
But she paved the way.
She did. Her delivery is really, really not good. It's just, I don't know. She sounds awful to me. Karrion Kross attacks Sami as Sami makes his entrance to face Braun Breaker with, again, the comical lead pipe.
And the crowd chanting like that they want Kross.
And Pierce just walks up and like grabs the pipe and like takes it away. So Braun is obviously going to target Sami's twice injured ribs now, and he ends up winning with a spear after 5 minutes. Good selling from Sami. He did hit a tiny bit of offense, and then he kind of came off the ropes, hit with a spear, super spear, the one where he runs around the ring, and then a regular spear. So 3 spears, more angle than match, kind of well executed, easy to believe Sami's hurt here. The crowd, again, another example, they're chanting one more time after the second spear. Mm-hmm. And that can't be the plan, right? They don't
I would think not.
But anyways, later, Braun talks to Seth, isn't annoyed that Kross took Zayn out ahead of their match. He doesn't want, like, Braun. I liked it because Braun's like, doesn't want to look like he needed Sami weakened, right? It's like his thing is I can beat him no matter what. Heyman comes in and says that Zayn is out indefinitely. Rollins wants Reed to do the same to Jey Uso later.
Don't we all?
New Day are in mourning, literally. They're like doing funeral stuff because they lost their titles.
I do think that's funny.
They want a rematch, but now War Raiders are there to be like, listen, you were the ones talking about rematches aren't automatic and that you want to give new people opportunities and stuff. So now you can't be wanting a big... anyways, Becky Lynch comes up at the end of this and calls Big E a scumbag for some reason.
Because she's a heel.
That's easy heat too, right?
It is.
Just go after.
It is.
Although they'll still cheer it. You could be attacking Big E's neck and they'd be like, one more time.
You could stab him and then just
they'd love
like,
it.
Other side.
So we get a Becky Lynch in-ring promo. She's pissed that 2 losers, that'd be Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, get to have a triple threat with her. She's so great and so famous that she should just get to choose her opponent. The other 2 are basically in cahoots so that they can face Lynch together to reduce Lynch's chances of retaining. Lyra and Bayley come out. They kind of bicker amongst themselves. Bayley's talking about not needing friends. She just needs the title. And then Lyra, I was confused by this. She says everyone thinks she called Becky to take out Bayley before Mania. Do people think that? I've never heard that theory.
Considering that she attacked Lyra the next night. I
was like, what?
Maybe I know she called Becky as a replacement, which duh.
Yeah.
But no.
Right? But Becky took out Bayley on her own and called Lyra later. She's like, she did it on her own. And then remember, you called me after. So I'm like, I don't know what we're referring to here. But anyways, Bayley is no better than Becky since she's now putting the title ahead of friendship. Bayley's talking about she was there to watch Lyra's ascension. Then she watched Lyra lose and raise Becky's hand like a bitch. But that was like an agreed upon stipulation, right? So she had.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's problems here. Lyra ends up looking strong. Nightwing for Bayley and Lynch. Lyra stands tall and her music played. So I like that they're trying to make her look strong here, but for sure. And I haven't enjoyed the presentation so far and the transparent matches that have led up to this, but I thought this was a good interaction. Lyra's not amazing on the mic, and it sort of shows in comparison to the other two who are much more experienced, but she's getting better. And I think they've put these three together for so long that it's almost starting to feel personal to me. Like it's kind of working, I guess. Because it's like they just keep putting them together and they all have problems with each other. So the match should be good. Let's hope anyways. Jey Uso beats Bronson Reed by DQ. We get a really weak Uso suicide dive that Reed has to sell going over the announce table. Jay goes to dive again. In a few minutes, Reed throws one of the big announce chairs at Uso, and that leads to the DQ. He hits 2 tsunamis to Uso after. I thought this was weird too.
Why can't you do more to him?
I thought this was weird because security come out like they always do, and Reed just stops. Whereas when it was Rollins, he just
wouldn't.
So if I'm Seth Rollins, I'm annoyed.
What the hell?
I took 7.
Yeah, he took I think it was 6.
And just ignored all the security, and he stops with 2 for Uso. But maybe Uso is delicate.
Too popular.
Yeah. We get an Io, whoa, I almost called her by her old name. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley hype package. It's about their history, respect for each other, and that they're basically the 2 best, and we'll figure out who the best one is. Slick package. Trying to add something to this match that they just quickly threw together. El Grande Americano continued his winning streak. He used a loaded mask again to defeat Dragon Lee. This was kind of funny. So Cole on commentary, he's smart enough to know that Gable and Americano are the same person, even though they're not, obviously.
They're not.
But
he's smart enough to think that.
But has no clue who the replacement is. Even though, like, Kaiser's been lingering in the back of, like, and has the same build. You know what I mean? Like, so on one hand, he's like...
I'm trying to think of what the better move would be. So he should be like, Gable's full of crap, it's Kaiser now, kind of thing?
Or say nothing would be my choice.
Yeah.
They should say nothing would be my preferred, because he's like, I know that's not Chad Gable, but I have no idea who it could be. So on one hand, he's smart and then stupid. But anyways, Graves is in the unenviable position of confidently saying that this is the same El Grande Americano, so he looks stupid too.
Yeah.
It's the same one. I don't know. It's like cartoonish commentary.
No, no, I like that because...
Even though he's a foot taller and missing tattoos.
But it is the same, though.
Right.
So that's fine.
That's right. Kaiser, and at one point, Kaiser was doing his normal Kaiser things, which kind of made me laugh because he's not even really hiding it very well.
Kaiser's not wrestling.
Right. So I wonder, this also made me wonder how Dragon Lee feels about his decision to join WWE. He is super talented, and he is fodder for mid-card comedy story right now. Even though it's a good one, it's one I'm enjoying. But
I'd say he probably wants to join his brothers, but like, what are they doing?
I know. But at least I feel like you get to wrestle the style you want to wrestle more. I don't know.
That's true.
Maybe they don't want to wrestle that style. I shouldn't say that for them. But the match was good while it lasted. Dragon Lee did get an extended run before the headbutt with the mask. Gunther comes out, tells us Goldberg must be afraid of him since he has not responded to any of Gunther's comments, which is fair. But by coincidence, Goldberg just happens to be showing up in the parking lot with his muscle car. And unfortunately for me, he gets a really good reaction here.
What senior citizen is pulling up in a muscle car? Like,
he gets to park in the
so cool
disabled spot right there. So,
that makes sense.
He gets in Gunther's face, slaps the mic out of his hand, punches him, sets up for the spear, but Gunther escapes and retreats as Goldberg yells 5 days. I appreciated how short this was, and Goldberg has really played a minimal role. It's been mostly Gunther carrying everything,
which I guess is what you want.
Best case scenario for me.
Yeah.
but I have no interest in this still at all. Rollins defeated Penta with the stomp in 13 minutes in the main event. Pretty good back and forth match. Penta setting a faster pace than Rollins. We get some CM Punk chants. Rollins kicks out of the Penta driver, gets a hand on the rope after a destroyer. Rollins hits a low blow with a headbutt.
I did see that. I thought that was kind of creative.
Leading to the finishing stomp. Good match, but there is a better one between these two, as we say sometimes, right? And we could give this a little more story and a little more time, and it'd probably be very interesting. And then LA Knight, because they have to get that story going too, comes out to hit a BFT to Rollins before running away from Reed and Breaker to celebrate in the crowd. And he gets a great response, but then I put, but who doesn't with this crowd, right? So again, maybe not as annoying as the last couple weeks, but still I just don't, there's nothing that's really grabbing my attention other than El Grande Americano. Everything else is just kind of like tolerable, which is too bad. NXT, off and on, we see women arriving for the summit. That's at the end of this show, I think it was. Zelina Vega's won, Ivy Nile, I think Maxine and Natty, etc.
Dungeon Dolls.
Sorry.
Call them the Dungeon Dolls.
I do, I think, later, actually. Ricky Saints survives the Vanity Project gauntlet to earn another North American title shot against Paige. So first he beats Brad Baylor with the Tornado DDT in a couple minutes. Then it's Ricky Smokes next.
Roll up, I think.
Which is Ricky versus Ricky.
It's also their names are incredibly similar.
It's true. He gets a bit more offense. Saints rolls him up to advance to face Jackson Drake. Drake does even better than the other two, but still loses to a Rochambeau. Not a lot of time for any of them. But I continue to be impressed by Vanity Project. I think they belong as a heel faction NXT
because they're actually indie guys, especially Drake.
They can wrestle.
Yeah,
they do look really young and skinny, but I don't really care. So does Joanne Evans.
Fletcher. So did Fletcher.
Right, and I don't care about that. They should be done with Evolve altogether and just on on NXT proper the whole time. And Starks and Page is a pretty good feud for the secondary title, right?
I agree.
Two recognizable stars.
And they're both pretty reliable.
With a history together, so I think that should be a good match. Lainey Reed is backstage because that's the only place we know to put the women is in the locker room.
Where they have civil adult conversations.
Absolutely. So she tries to drive a wedge between Zarya and Ruka. Something about Ruka being... it was basically like... Because Ruka's doing double duty, right?
Yes, I was gonna say aren't they both? But
so it was like she's gonna be too tired. She's not prioritizing.
That was
your
like
tag match.
That was the Fraxium thing, right? You're not prioritizing the team. You're taking title shots, yada yada.
So then, long-haired Kalani Jordan has issues with Lainey Reed, and Lola is just kind of standing there. So confused because Lonnie's now seeming more babyface. Like they need to figure out what they're doing with her.
Oh, she got married, or she's getting engaged at least.
She got
engaged.
Congratulations
with Mello.
Oh right. So the women's locker room, again, of course, why do Ruka and Zarya deserve a title shot? They lost to Paxi and Dame last week. So that's why I assumed it was Paxi and Dame.
Because they're most established.
I guess. Jordan Grace trains hard, while Monroe does not. Grace calls her, and they're going to have a glamour workout instead. She sends a car for Jordan Grace. Grace reluctantly agrees. So it's like spa day instead of working. It was a very, very NXT. I saw a
bit of it. I hated it.
It was really not good.
Very 2.0.
Very much. So this is odd couple
which
out
is
for a day.
Literally never, ever been a compliment ever.
Out for a day of pampering. And Monroe is feeling more like a diva than she really should. We don't need that.
It's like so over the top.
It's not good.
It's just like it's so cartoony and like
it is. It's a caricature of wrestling.
It's a caricature, yeah. Which is what we criticized Storm being, and now it's just like I hate it.
So in a later segment, they're at the salon. Monroe convinces Grace to stay and try some self-care. Of course, Jordan Grace comes out with the robe with the sleeves ripped off.
I did think that was kind of
they do their nails, get massages. Grace is softening to Monroe a bit, but it's not very entertaining at all. And they're asking Jordan Grace to act way too much. It is not. Like, you can get a quick promo out of her and it'll be fine. This was too much for her.
May can, but I think May is best when she's left to her own devices.
This is just disappointing, man. They have taken somebody I loved because she came out of nowhere and she just crushed everything for 18 months and then left.
Near flawless, I think.
She left me wanting more, came here, and now they've put their NXT spin on her, and it's not working, man. And I don't think it's just us. I think a lot of people feel the same.
I hope it kind of doesn't pan out, because then we might have a chance to get her back.
Right? She's just going to go to main roster, and then Hopefully she gets it out of her system. Maybe wins a title.
I don't see this
checks it off her list and comes
there,
back.
Though. If it's not going to thrive in NXT, I don't see it thriving there either.
Well, the fans cheer for everything right now. So
yeah, she might be fine.
She'll be huge. But
look how over she is.
It's disappointing because she's awesome.
Absolutely.
Tavion Heights is unable to win his freedom. He loses to Dempsey in just under 10 minutes. He was wearing the mask again, but did take it off like halfway through. Heights fires up after Dempsey so Dempsey rips his mask off, and that sort of fires up Heights to get a little flurry going.
Charlie, wasn't it Ren threw in the towel?
She did. So Charlie ends up slamming Heights' knee, trapping it in the steps, and then just focusing on the knee. And yes, Ren Sinclair throws in the towel. So I think that's a pretty smart way because Ren's been the one trapped in the middle, right? She wants to.
And I think it's kind of interesting. And you could maybe even turn her heel where it's like, yeah, I did it on purpose if you really wanted to.
At some point, yes.
You could do that.
I kind of like the dynamics going there, and you kind of knew that Heights wasn't getting out of this group yet. He's now. It's sort of funny that these adults are like, you can't leave because you lost. Like, you're a grown man, just leave the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like wrestling style, so you can't.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's wrestling.
Hank and Tank are getting hyped for the match backstage when Evans comes up to talk to them, and then Lexis King is in the background doing weird things. I don't even remember what the weird things are.
Doing weird things.
Jasper Troy shows up to attack Evans. Troy attacks Evans again later as Evans is being checked out by medical personnel, and they brawl even later in the ring. So lots of them setting up their little match, I guess. Santana and Hendry coexist long enough to beat High Rise. Actually, a little better than I expected. The action was pretty quick. Santana has a really good hot tag. Trick shows up to run Hendry into the steps. Santana hits the spin, the block for the win moments later. The heels attack after the match and stand tall. Under 9 minutes. Fun while it lasted. I didn't expect much from High Rise, so that was a bit of an over-deliver, which is always nice. We get a Japanese legend montage. They support Inamura because the only people that could support a Japanese guy are other Japanese guys. Actually, there might have been someone not Japanese in there, but I don't know. So yeah, they support him as he faces Oba. Dark State recorded promo. Obviously, they went to TNA and took out Matt Cardona, and they have more plans, cryptic plans. They will keep their eyes on the tag title match. When they strike, ain't nobody safe. So more of the same. Still not very interesting.
They need like a major feud.
They need something to sink their teeth into and stop just being super generic and like what they say could apply to anything, anytime. There's never anything specific. Like
Nexus, but Nexus also took that major loss.
We're going to do stuff, and when we do, it's going to be awesome.
Do stuff.
And then they say that every week. Oba and Inamura are in the ring to talk. Inamura's in a suit, speaks really slowly. Obviously, English is not his first language. About being ready and having the support of the fans. Briggs and his... It's the fans, Briggs, and his family.
The fans are all Japanese. Briggs is Japanese.
They have to be. That's the only way. He will make them proud and become NXT champion. Femi says Inamura's support system can pick up the pieces once Femi beats him. I kind of like that. Like, I'm glad you have all this support because they can pick up the pieces when I kill you. And that basically Inamura is unworthy of facing Femi. Briggs steps in to defend Inamura and gets booed here. It's like they can sort of see what's coming, maybe.
I think so.
He thinks that Inamura will beat Femi's ass. He is a man of mayhem. Speaking of himself, Briggs.
Which is such a creative title.
He will do everything to make sure Inamura wins, which makes me feel like they're setting up the right. Like, I'm willing to help you cheat, and Inamura won't want that as an honorable guy. Briggs threatens him, and they fight. Femi sends Briggs to the floor. Inamura slams Femi. And yeah, I think the story is Briggs leading Inamura to do dishonorable things, and that's fine. People love Inamura.
That could be the payoff, I think. I think
so too. Right? And people love Inamura so much they're automatically suspicious of Briggs, so they turned on him pretty heavily here.
Yeah.
And again, I think Briggs maybe cheats or tries to cheat, and that gets some sort of rift going between Inamura.
I would imagine so.
Because Briggs has to have problems with everyone he teams with.
But then he's not going to team with anyone anymore.
Never again until next week.
Until his next partner comes along.
Kalani Jordan defeated Laney Reed with the split-legged moonsault. The match was really basic. I don't know, man. I'm not seeing much with Laney Reed.
You forgot her name the other week.
I did. She's comfortable speaking. I'll say that. She doesn't seem nervous, but I don't know. And then Thea Hale, she's a grown-ass woman. She attacks Laney Reed after the match.
Thea Hale is indeed a grown-ass woman. That's why she's going to have arguments in the locker room.
That's correct. That's what they do. NXT Spotlight is on Tony D and the rest. And just out of nowhere, it's Stax and Luca and Rizzo. So...
Wait, what?
Rizzo's out of hiding.
But she's with them.
So that's the stupid thing.
And
She has to go hiding from all of them for fear of her life being taken. But now she just shows up and meets all of them face to face.
Oh, they're all meeting together?
They're all together.
Even Tony or no?
Yes. All of them are there.
But like, is this, so the Spotlight, is it like a flashback or is it like this?
It's her bringing them all together because she's like, there's no way to save it because trust has been broken. I spoke to Ava and got a triple threat for next week, and it's the final battle. Please let it be the final battle for the family.
But, it's weird that she organized that.
Yeah, because she's been in fear of her life, hiding for a month. And then she's like, nope, let's all get together at the same table and talk, even though I've been worried that one or more of you is going to murder me. So anyways, Stax thinks he's getting set up. The three men bicker. Luca wants to get away from both of them. I second that because I kind of like Luca. I would love for him to get away from this. I really hope this is the end of this excruciating story. My front runner for worst story of the year. The reemergence of Rizzo makes no sense here. And these three are taking something that no one cares about really seriously. So good for them. Paxley with the culling in a pre-recorded segment. Paxley got them a title match, so they all like her. Nico is pissed that Hank and Tank think the culling attacked them, but Spears tells him to relax. Paxley wants all her new best friends to win gold to match their hearts. Okay. Something about Paxley I find entertaining. Paxley and Ren Sinclair they amuse me. Hank and Tank retained their tag titles. They beat the culling in 12 minutes. And they were in like America gear this week, I guess, because it was
did see that.
4th of July-ish.
I believe so.
Hank does Alexander sliding crossbody through the ropes now.
Oh.
Just straight up swipe that. Nico hit a pounce to Hank over the announce table. Looked pretty good. Tank gets the hot tag as always, and it is impressive. He's just so energetic, that guy. Dame Boot and Spears impale her for a near fall. Ruka then comes out to attack Izzy Dame, and Zarya just picks up Paxley and carries her away. Spears shoves Nico to safety, takes the honk honk and the other finisher thing, that finishing combination of Hank and Tank.
The check into the power slam.
He sacrificed himself. He saved Nico and took it himself. Fine tag match, felt short for a main event. Hank and Tank certainly have their own style down at this point, I feel like. And they're pretty entertaining. They're just that really high energy smash mouth style that I think works.
Yeah, even though they're not my style, I don't hate them.
No, they're kind of fun, honestly.
I kind of enjoyed them.
Yeah. Cale Dixon is freaking out and can't have his match because he was supposed to face somebody. Not sure. Chase says he'll figure it out, and so it's now Chase trying to be more, instead of yelling and swearing at him, trying to be kinder, gentler, because that's what this new class of students need. Is a kinder, gentler.
But it was his hard-nosed yelling that turned her into a grown-ass woman.
That's correct. And I think got Duke Hudson away from gambling, maybe too. Chase gambled the whole thing away. It's complicated. So it's a rich history they have.
Boy, is it.
Women's Summit ends the show, so it's funny because it's like the women who have a chance get to be in the ring. And all the other ones are out on the floor. So it's basically telling you, we care about Jordan Grace.
Who's going to get a profile in there.
We care about Jordan Grace, Fatal Influence, Lash Legend.
Jordan Grace and Jason Dean have their own match, though, right?
Yes. And then Vicare's music hits to a really good reaction. She says that Jordan Grace will beat JC Jane and that Vicare herself will win the Battle Royal. The Dungeon Dolls come out. And they think they'll be the final two in the Battle Royal. I really hope not. Jada Parker comes out of the crowd, and she says she'll win the Battle Royal, obviously. And then guess what happens? Could you guess?
They step up.
They all start brawling. And Dame and Paxi, for some reason, are just watching from the ramp. I don't know.
They're smart, I guess.
So this was nothing exactly what you'd expect. Like, it's showing you, here's the ones we care about. Here's the rest. The ones we care about think they're going to win. And they all just fight to end the show. So cool. That is all. Anything else that SmackDown hasn't happened or is happening?
The only thing that's interesting is I was looking at news on Cultaholic, and they let me go because the pages of news.
Yeah.
They let me go to page 2,380. So I'm looking at news from November of 2017.
Interesting.
We got Page's days away from WWE return according to Alberto Del Rio. Sawyer Fulton got released. Jericho's gonna wrestle Omega at Wrestle Kingdom.
Nice.
AJ Styles beat Jinder Mahal in the UK for the WWE title.
Nice.
John Cena's gonna be in Survivor Series.
You have too much time on your hands.
Strange. Rockstar Spud's gonna sign with WWE.
He should. He's entertaining. But on that note, I think we'll wrap up episode 260. Again, if you didn't check out our preview and predictions for All In and Great American Bash, even if those shows are over now, you can go see how wrong or right we are. We did our certainty scores, so you can see how well we did there.
See Takeshita win the title, obviously.
I am really hoping that All In is as good as we hope it is, and then we find time to come and talk about it as a standalone. We may, in fact, do that. So keep an eye out for that. If not, we'll tack it on to 261 because we'll for sure be back down here recording that at some point. So we'll see you then for sure, if not before. And until then, everybody, take care.